So why don't you tell me a little bit about the problems that you've been facing, what you're looking to improve on and learn?
So pretty much, whether I win lane or get completely demolished in lane, I feel like going into like the mid game and the late game, it just seems to like fall apart.
So the issue with matchmaking right now in Deadlock is that when you're in these low ranked lobbies, there is no like structure on like who's a carry, who's a support, who's a tank, all these different things. Sometimes your Wraith will carry and do her job. And then sometimes your Wraith won't carry and go 0-10 and not do her job at all to an extent. Just to put it bluntly, like support in games has less agency than carry. You will be able to win games single-handedly as a carry compared to if you play support, you are often depending on your team. So
Right.
I recommend one of two things. First, you can change the playstyle of the supports you're playing to be more carry oriented. Second, you could just completely shift the characters that you play and play carry-esque characters. So Wraith could be carry. You could carry games as Victor, Geist. I mean, there's so many characters you can just carry games as. So here, this is an actual their tier 1 camp is up. Okay, so what you should do here, this is a pretty important concept that will kind of carry over to most of your other games. How good are you and how much do you prioritize stealing enemy jungle or stealing enemy resource, I guess you could say?
I would say like maybe 50%. I do it sometimes, and then sometimes I completely forget to do it. Like Lash, I always do it.
And right here, when you have this wave shove, this damage that you deal to the turret is way less valuable than the gold that you get from that tier 1. All right, so this is important. Are you familiar with soul sharing rules in this game or no?
The best way is just the more people that are in the lane, the less souls you're getting.
So yeah, so here it's 100% for one player solo, 65% for 2 players, but it's 65 times 2, right? So it's 130. 28% for 3, so it's 28% times 3, which is less than 100. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. So the most efficient way to allocate is 2 people, like I said. So right now what you have happening is you have 3 people in your lane, and the souls that you're sharing and soaking are extremely inefficient. But this allocation makes sense. You're allocating 3 here to take this Guardian, right? Like, it makes sense. You want to put more pieces like on the board to take a resource. Like, yeah, 3 people here to take the Guardian. It's fine. Like, it's good stuff. Like, this is good allocation. But there's something important that happens at 8 minutes, and this is actually a perfect opportunity. So I'm gonna lay out a bunch of things here. This might be something that you might conventionally view as a carry player to do, but right now what you could do, so 8 minutes spawn, all the vaults spawn on the map. There's 3 things on a layout. First, you won mid lane. So when we think about how the map looks from our perspective, it looks a little something like this. So you have a little more space in this mid lane because you destroyed their mid guardian. So we have 2 here, 1 here, 3 here. You guys on this side of the map are much stronger than this side. So you have advantageous numbers on the right. You have mid guardian broken, and right now you're allocated 3 in this right lane. So what you should do, or anyone should do, is you should literally leave the lane, I'm not even trolling, and go take every single vault on this side of the map. Doing this at this moment is actually very crucial because it could just be that the mid laner here is sacrificing their wave priority, so they're giving wave shove in order to secure. You could also tell Mo and Krill, since he won the lane, to shove the wave to invade with you to get the vaults. The takeaway here is that this is the most perfect opportunity for you to steal these vaults. And I'm not gonna lie, if you actually do steal these vaults at this moment, you're set in a position where you actually have agency and you can full carry this game as the carry doorman build that you're playing. Like, this will be such a huge influx of souls. How I like to view it is that there's 3 phases of the game that a person has an easy opportunity or a guaranteed opportunity in getting fed. First, it's the laning phase. Second way to get rich is vault timing at 8 minutes. Taking your vaults and potentially stealing the enemy vaults, that is a huge influx of souls. If we actually look at how much a Sinner's Sacrifice is, a Sinner's Sacrifice at about 8 minutes is about 350 souls. So if you steal this whole entire right side, you're getting 1,400 souls if you steal every single vault on this right side of the map. Each wave is about, like 500 souls. So you're getting literally 3 waves from the jungle in like a shorter amount of time than it takes for 3 waves to come coming. So the real reason why it's so good here is because you won mid lane and you have 3 people on the right. So the chances of you getting invaded actually when you're doing these vaults are quite low. So here's the perfect opportunity to do that. You have shove on this right lane. So the enemies are going to be occupied clearing this wave here. During that time, you want to take this vault here, at least this vault, and then leave. Because the window, like after they re-shove this wave back out, your window to take this vault is gone. Because now you must clear this wave that's on your guardian. Okay. I already see your problem, by the way. I actually think that you could have full carried this game. Well, let me first ask you this question. So you destroy the tower, you go back to base, you buy. What, in your opinion, is the thing you need to do right now in this game? Okay, so you have this winning state. You're 9-10 in the game, 3 5k souls up, all guardians destroyed. What do you need to do in order to win the game right now?
My thought would be getting walkers.
And is it get walkers right now or get walkers later?
Probably say later, maybe like around the 15-minute mark.
So what are you going to do then between now and 15 minutes, you'd say?
Zero clue.
Okay, right here, I actually think I fully understand why you're not winning some of these games. You understand that these walkers, taking them this early is too difficult, right? The walkers, they lose resistances every minute. Essentially, though, the takeaway is that walkers are hard to take until about 16 minutes. So now there's this weird time you have between 9 and 16 minutes where you're not sure what to do. And I'm looking and I'm skipping through your gameplay, and right here, you're actively pressuring walkers. You're doing this here to pressure the walker. You're just up here just fighting. Your team's up there, you're there, the enemies are there, you're just fighting. Right now, you need to be focused on all this stuff here. All this jungle, you guys need to be over there. You need to shove the wave like how you have now and then steal resources. Steal the jungle, steal the vaults, steal the tier 2s, play the urn. If you don't know this as well, urn will always spawn yellow lane first urn. So this is what you guys need to be doing. You also need to be securing your own farm as well. Get your own vaults, get your own jungle. But the key thing is here first, you need to secure theirs. You need to steal theirs. You guys are ahead. You have a lead. You can fight them and beat them up. You just need to translate that lead into a further lead. And how you do that is through the jungle here. Being back here is not good. You want to be up forward, stealing because you have a lead, because your guardians are still up, and you have pressure on the map. So with that space that you have, you should be stealing these resources hella. Once again, look, same thing here. Me and you both know that these walkers are too hard to take, especially at 12 minutes. So you're fighting the enemy on their side of the map right next to their walker. This is bad. You want to fight them in their jungle, stealing their resources where there is no walker. The reason like fighting in this area is bad is not because you're trying to take the walker, but it's because you're fighting literally like on the walker. They have resistances from the walker, and you're fighting them with like 20 bullet resist. Like look here, look at this left side. It's not you, but look at your team. They're 4 stacked on a walker trying to take a walker at 12 minutes. No, they don't get away with it. They all die. And they could have just stole this jungle.
What I have problems with too is like I just don't like when it comes to this type of stuff, like they're all fighting on the walker and it's like, okay, now do I go join or do I go do something else?
What I like to do is I like to trick my teammates, and I like to be like, guys, we should just take jungle at this point, just get really fed. And everyone likes getting souls and everyone likes getting fed and like stealing jungle, so people will often default to that instead of pushing walkers. If you want to avoid stuff like this happening on the left side, for example, just be like, guys, just take the jungle, like just steal the jungle, don't push the walker, it's more souls. So maybe that would like trick your team into, you know, like making the right play without you know, getting yelled at or anything like that. Or I mean, hell, like you could just ignore them and what they're doing and take the souls for yourself. Like go, like while they're doing this, you go take all the vaults. Now you will probably get yelled at, but if I'm playing Wraith and I'm doing this, I know I'll be able to carry the game from that because yeah. But you're playing Doorman, so it's gonna be a little tough. But that's why I recommended at the beginning, if you play Wraith or like Haze and these characters that can carry and you're getting these souls, like you'll be able to carry it from that sequence. But it's a little harder for Doorman, but you get the point. I mean, there's a lot more that we can review, but for what you need to work on, I think the takeaways that you have today from what we talked about is perfect because it's centered around just this early to mid point in the game, which is the most important. Like this late game stuff that's going on, like, yeah, it's important, but like fundamentally what went wrong here with your approach to the game is this whole entire sequence where it's like, you guys won lane, you have your guardians up, you have pressure everywhere, you're just not stealing resources. And you don't even have to do it with your team. You could just do it yourself. If your team doesn't want
Yeah.
to come, joke, fuck it, you're a doorman. Just fucking go into the doubles, put a door somewhere safe. All right, someone's here. All right, I'm out, and just door out, and you're safe
Right.
like that. So I mean, I think if you just work on these things in the early to mid game, I think you'll notice a big improvement. Not only like winning and losing more games, like winning more games, but also feeling probably a little richer sometimes in these lobbies.
Mm-hmm.